What's up, everybody? The boys are back. BlackTop, SmackTalk. Adam here. Once again, joined by my brothers, man. Feels good to be back with my brothers. We got my man Charlie Hustle in the house. And
Mask up, everybody.
Then you know him as the millionaire from BTST. Man, we have Sano in the house.
Do I have to show it?
There it is. Dub life.
Hey.
Dub life, taking a lot of L's.
Man, and then we got, you guys know what it is, 13-time UW All-American, second team All-Metro, led Metro in rebounding and blocks and steals.
Whoa.
Bruce Jackson.
And Tex.
Hey, what can I say? Just versatile.
Hey,
Just
Bruce, did you ever get a
versatile.
tech in high school?
I don't think many high schoolers.
Once.
Yeah,
I don't think many high schoolers get text.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. I don't remember anybody.
I
really
remember
getting a
Tyler,
tech. Well, that makes
Tyler
sense.
got one.
PJ, and Shane. That's all I remember.
Those three all,
No.
Oh, man.
Tyler threw a chair.
Crazy times, man. Well, gentlemen, man, we're back, man, coming to you live from Third Wheel Podcast Studio. Shout out to our guy Nolan, who's producing the pod today. And this is our home, our new home. BTST has a new home. We're blessed, we're fortunate, and we're very grateful. So shout out to Third Wheel and Nolan. Man, season's coming down to a close tomorrow. It's Saturday, May 15th. Season ends tomorrow, but there's so much uncertainty going on, man. Well, today we're going to talk about the awards, which is kind of all over the place, and then we'll do a somewhat of a playoff preview because there's only two teams that are finalized spots right now. Every other spot is kind of all over the place. So
2 teams in the whole NBA that have finalized the spot?
well, 2 teams that are in the playoffs.
Right.
So the Spurs
Spurs,
are
I think.
10th and the Celtics are in 7th. And then
Wow.
those are the only 2 teams.
Everybody else is still up for grabs.
Everyone else is still up for grabs. It's crazy.
Well, Philly clinched the one, I think, right?
With the win yesterday?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, still, though, that's...
Yeah, not many.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not
3.
many.
Yeah.
So, man, as we've, in our podcasts and, all of our conversations, we've talked about so many individual stuff. We talked about awards. We even had a podcast, I believe like 3 podcasts ago, we talked about who our MVP was. And I believe that was in February, right before All-Stars. Man, so we can just start off our award show. The BTST 2020-21 award show. We can start off with MVP. Mr. Jackson, coming to you live from California, man. Who is your MVP for the 2021 NBA season?
There should be no discussion here.
Yeah, this should go quick.
Yeah, real quick. Notice there would have been a discussion, but injuries played a role in obviously a lot of these awards that we'll highlight today. But Nikola Jokic, so that's no-brainer. I mean, the guy's pretty much 26, 11, and 8.
Yep.
So efficiency to be the playmaker, the point center, playmaking center, big. I think what obviously is the only other contender really would probably be Joel, but I think what separates him is obviously the old saying, right? The best ability is availability. So putting up those stats, I don't think he's missed one game actually.
No, he's played every game so far.
Yeah. So nothing much more for me to allude to. You guys know if anyone else wants to comment on that. So,
Man, would I be interested, Bruce, really quick? My fault, saying I didn't mean to cut you off. So, if you were a official voter, voters get five guys on their ballot. Who would your 3 through 5 be?
My 3 through 5?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's tough. Probably. Yeah, I mean, Greek Freak's doing his thing. He's killing, eating in there. I'd probably have him my 3rd. Obviously, I think voters would obviously look at, we voted MVP obviously 2 years in a row, and it hasn't produced in the playoffs. So, but he'd be my 3. Kawhi's killing. I really like the efficiency in his game has improved, and just all around a little more playmaking this year. So probably Kawhi would be in that 4, and then I don't know, 5th. Like, stats are a big
Don't
deal,
not
but
do
I
it.
guess,
Just say it.
but,
Bruce.
but impact. I know we've had a debate about this off air. I'll say, let me give it Chris Paul for the fans out there.
All right. Well,
CP3 for the fans.
to each his own, you know.
Wow.
Free thinker.
Mhm.
Man, so
Bruce ain't a sheeple.
Sano and Chuck, Jokic for you guys also?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Joker.
I mean, I do want to note that I called Jokic.
He did.
Yeah, shout out to Sano. Sano predicted this on our
Yeah.
predictions pod. He
It's all on
predicted
tape.
Jokic as the MVP. So shout out to Sano for that one.
Mhm.
The Joker.
Yeah, so I think how voting will end up going is Embiid will probably get second, but Charlie Sano, I mean, Chuck, you can go first. It's like after that, who would your 3 through 5 be?
Joel.
3 through 5.
And then I don't know about the order, but it'd be Steph and Dame and probably Giannis.
Okay.
I don't know of the order of 3 through 5, but those 3 guys are in there. But Steph did, Steph is good enough to not. He's in the conversation, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's just tough to give someone the actual award if your seed's that low. But what he did with that team was incredible.
Right.
And what Dame did with his team when they were beat up. Dame has a good team, but a lot of them weren't
Right.
there. So
Yeah, that month of April for Steph was
That was
unbelievable.
ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I had the same. I mean, I would have, if I was going to add one more to that, I would have said a CP3
yeah,
as
pause.
well.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
Lillard, Steph, and Giannis, I think are my 3 through 5 too.
And like Bruce said with the Giannis thing, it's a real thing. Like he said, it's funny that
Voter
we
fatigue.
penalize him, the
Mhm.
voter fatigue, because he hasn't played well in the playoffs.
Right.
Right, where it should be, it's a regular season.
Right.
I mean, I would be all for, if they were going to change it, I'd be all for having them include playoffs.
Or like other people have suggested, have a playoff MVP per se.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Like like the one year, okay, for example, Dirk got MVP and then lost in the first round.
Yeah.
But then that other year, he got Finals MVP when he beat the Heat. But he should have got playoff MVP too, because his body of work for those 4
oh
rounds
yeah,
was,
yeah.
right.
Which we
was
talked
just unbelievable.
which we talked about last episode.
Because when they do March Madness, they have is it a Final Four award? It's not a whole tournament award.
Not a whole tournament.
Right.
They have regionals.
Oh, they do have regional
There's
awards.
like an
So-
MOP or whatever.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
MOP.
Yeah. So they have regional like MVP,
Oh.
regional all tournament,
Okay.
and then they have Final Four, and then most outstanding player. Just a couple names. Obviously, Jokic. For mine, my 5 would have been Embiid was second, Giannis, Steph, and Luka.
Mhm.
But then Dame and Luka were kind of hand in hand. I can't. Games played was kind of weak, but because of injury. But LeBron would have been right there for me had he had the necessary amount of games, and with what they were doing when he was playing. They were the second seed at the time he went down, I believe, or the third.
Which is funny because they might end up playing the Suns. And if you would have said before the year, oh, Lakers and Suns might play, Lakers are probably the 2, Suns are the 7.
Yeah, and then it's reversed.
Wow, who would have thought the other way around?
Right. Man, some national attention somebody has gotten is Rudy Gobert, which I'm sure we'll talk about him later. But as an MVP, I can't see it, but I understand it. I understand why they're the best
The anchor.
the best team in the NBA as of right now. I understand the Chris Paul. He's got it them second best record in the league. The Kawhi. So
What about Kyrie?
I don't think
Not enough?
there's
That's the thing is like there's a level that you need to maybe to get MVP, but that level's a little lower for when you look at like all NBA teams.
right.
In terms of
Yeah.
games played, I feel.
Which
But
will
for MVP, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
he should have won, but for MVP, like they didn't have Durant for most of the season.
Right.
Seems like,
and then
Harden's
Harden the
been
last like 20 games or something
And
like
he
that.
averaged 26-7 or 27-6. Kyrie was one of those
something
two.
like that.
He
But
was high 20s.
I mean, not like they didn't have other guys too. But
Kyrie's 27-5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
But yeah, so that's unanimous for us. Bruce, let's go to your rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year is like I did in the prediction show. I predicted LaMelo. That's who it is.
Nice.
I mean Anthony Edwards made that run, but I'm looking at the whole body.
Yeah.
The highlight the feel, just like the buzz. Like I don't think Anthony Edwards could be, future All-Star, lift that franchise up. But I also think, I guess Rookie of the Year, you probably are still more stat heavy than necessarily impact on games and wins and losses. But I also think that gives LaMelo a boost because he's still 19 years old. He's a starter. He's leading the offense for a team that's in the thick of a playoff hunt, chase.
Right.
So I think that gives him the nod over.
Yeah, I think was LaMelo your guys' also?
I had Anthony Edwards.
You know, Edwards. I mean,
Oh,
it was for me. It was like, man, 1A, 1B.
Right.
We're
And the only
split.
reason I gave the nod to Edwards is because LaMelo's injury, because he missed a lot of time. But I mean, those
He
are
came
all good
back.
points. I know he came back, but
For
I'm just
how many
saying,
games? 4?
He
6?
was out for what, 5 weeks?
He was out like a month, 4
Okay,
weeks.
a month. I mean, in that time, Edwards played probably his best ball of the season, and so I just think from a strictly Rookie of the Year, best who played well enough throughout the season, the length of the season, I think it was Edwards.
Interesting.
The length of the season. I mean, before that,
What I mean by that
before
is
LaMelo
like, wasn't hurt.
disappeared and allowed Anthony Edwards to shine because he was gone.
That's what I said. Injury.
I know, but before that, it wasn't. I don't think there was a debate. And what helped Edwards, he got more. He got way more efficient during that month.
Right.
He figured it out, but
yeah. And if LaMelo had not got, or if he wasn't out for that long and he had come back like after a week or didn't get hurt and had played that same level that he was playing at throughout the whole season, he would have got it for me. But I just think that missed time while Edwards stepped up.
okay.
I think it could be a situation in like it was in 93, 94.
Oh, a tie.
Yeah, it could be a co-rookie of the year.
I wish they could just announce it because it's really hard for it to happen, right? Like the votes have to be perfect, right? And there's a lot of votes.
Yeah,
There's a lot of.
there's
Yeah,
like 100
did they do, like,
voters.
Do they do first, second, third for Rookie of the Year? Like, do people?
Oh, like
have
yeah. Oh, you do. Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So that I don't know if they did that at the time, but it seems like it would be hard if they did that.
If there was like 130 votes
yeah,
to be perfect,
that'd be crazy.
right? Because the variability
Yeah.
you could have on that.
It might be a lot closer than what we think. I went LaMelo also. I just, 16, 6 and 6. Pretty efficient. 36% from 3, 76 from the line, 44% from the field. Has him in the play-in. But I can't discredit Anthony Edwards. He's had 20 or 34 games of 20-plus points,
Right.
which is pretty incredible.
On a really bad team.
But they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Since Cat
Guys came back.
and D. Russ came back.
They swept Utah back to
Right.
back a couple weeks
Wrong.
ago. Right?
That's
So-
the only team that was beating Utah for a
So
minute.
he's actually played better with those guys. So Minnesota actually could be promising, and they got 2 Seattle guys on there. Shout out to McDaniels and Jalen Noel.
Edwards did. He pushed Minnesota out of that spot, I think, where Golden State might get their draft pick. So
Mhm.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'd have to check the standings. They were close. They were like
So the Warriors will get the T-Wolves draft pick?
percentage wise. They can still get it in the lottery, but
Oh.
I think the top 3 have an equal chance of getting that number 1 pick.
All right, so that's rookie 6-man. Sneeze.
6-man.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that one.
It was No, I was debating, but Clarkson. Jordan.
Pelapino! Pelapino!
You guys already know who called it at the beginning of the season too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen people say his teammate.
Ingles, I've
Yeah.
seen
I've
Ingles.
seen that too.
I've seen Ingles. I got to shout out Derrick Rose. He's played a huge part in the Knicks' resurgence.
I still think. I mean, I know Derrick Rose comes off the bench, but I think of him as a starter.
Oh
It's
yeah,
weird,
for sure.
to think of him as a 6-man.
For sure.
Mm.
Oh man, I forgot real quick in the rookie discussion. He's not gonna get it, but Halliburton.
Had a
Mhm.
good
Halliburton
solid
had a
year.
Yeah.
really solid year.
He'd probably be
he's,
third.
He's really solid, man. I
Yeah.
like him a lot. I think he's gonna be real good.
Also, a real, not to go back to the rookies, but a real like under the radar rookie, Jayshawn Tate for Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know what his numbers were. I know he's had some decent
He was like
games.
12, 5, and 3.
Mm.
I mean, Houston was
Yeah.
really bad, but only reason I know that is because he's on my fantasy team.
Oh, right.
The winning
he plays
fantasy team.
defense.
The winning fantasy
Oh,
team.
the champ.
Yeah,
Champ is
Tate's
here.
a good defender. Good defender by Tate. He's a very good
Yeah,
defender.
he seems like he'd be
early.
a solid player.
But man, Clarkson. Did you guys have Clarkson too?
I did.
I had Clark's.
All right, man. 18 points a game, top bench scorer in the NBA.
What is the discussion for Ingles over Clarkson?
His efficiency, his
Okay.
true shooting,
Mm.
and how he pretty much has quarterbacked the offense with so many injury, or with Conley and Donovan.
Yeah, because
Mitchell.
he can kind of run the kind of like a Hidu Turkoglu.
Yeah,
in a way.
just real
Where
like,
Clarkson just
like a
it's
point
going
forward.
up,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But he's good at it.
right.
So
Yeah,
his
they've also
evolution, his growth has been his development's been pretty good.
Clarkson.
Yeah, just as an NBA player.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are there some other names? I mean, I haven't heard Ingles actually. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Ingles, Derrick Rose,
Oh, Rose. Yeah, we talked about Rose.
Thad Young. That's kind
Mm.
of a sleeper. He's
Mhm.
been one. Yeah, those are the ones. Those are the primary four that I've.
Yeah.
Because when I was looking,
Gallinari. Just kidding.
Adam's guy.
I've
Gallo
seen.
for the
I've even seen
fantasy team.
Kuzma on some. I've seen
Kuzma?
Kuzma.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw a
I
very.
mean,
like,
he got to start for
Yeah.
him like a
Yeah.
month and a half
Right.
too.
Yeah.
I just didn't think when I was looking, I didn't see many contenders other than Clarkson,
So.
at least for me, like in my opinion. But
Yeah.
All right, so
Right.
now, defensive player of the year.
Oh, this could have some variability.
Oh,
This guy got
we know who Bruce
This guy
is
got the
going.
evil laugh,
Did he
Dr.
go-
Claw.
Did he go with Ben Simmons?
Did I go? I did predict Ben, but I didn't go with Ben. But
Oh,
he's
okay.
right there.
Benji.
I went with Rudy. I
The
went with
Rude.
Gobert.
You went
Yeah.
Gobert over Simmons?
Yeah, I did. I
That's
did. I know you. I know
surprising,
you can.
actually.
No one can believe that
The
from me. But yes,
Stifle
I
Tower.
the stifled tower,
Dr.
the
Claw.
anchor. It's just so high on so many defensive metrics. Very good sideline to sideline. And it
Oh,
just
you a
allows
blog? You're a
those-
blog boy, huh? Analytics guy.
Yeah.
Blog boy Bruce.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Blog
The
boy
eye
Bruce.
test is where Rudy also wins too, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
he just the whole team is based around what he can do.
Right.
Yeah. He
Right.
allows the perimeter players to play even more aggressive, knowing that even if they get blown by, that he can protect the paint. And I believe the number one defensive team in the league.
Yep.
Right there, number two.
Oh no,
yeah,
no, I'm
so-
sorry. Number 4.
Number 4.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But he's leading the
No.
league in blocks, second in rebounding.
Mhm.
You know, and he's the first number 1 in defensive rating.
Mhm.
Opponents aren't attacking the rim, and they're shooting a low percentage against him. So, yeah, I think, Gobert was mine. Was Gobert yours?
I mean, I kind of wanted to go Ben Simmons for the versatility aspect of guarding multiple positions.
He's the 3rd best defensive player on his team.
I mean, then you give it to anyone else.
So
you know?
Embiid,
and
Matisse.
Matisse,
Matisse.
Matisse.
we won't do all defense, but we'll do that. We'll post that, but
I'm gonna go
Bible's up there
Simmons
on
though,
mine.
just because I didn't put him on any All NBA teams, so this is his reward.
He'll be grateful.
yeah. No,
He's gonna give me. Clutch is gonna give me a call.
Ben Simmons was second for me.
Ben Simmons. Well,
I almost went Capella, but he's on some lists.
Yeah,
He's like
Capella?
top 3
I
on
can
a
see
lot of
that.
lists.
I can see
Yeah.
that. I wanted to give Miles Turner
Oh,
yeah,
right on.
Miles Turner.
because before he got hurt, I thought he was right in there in the. He just didn't rebound enough,
Mm-hmm.
But blocks and steals.
It's
time-
weird that he doesn't
was up
rebound
there.
enough.
One time he was
Right.
averaging like 5
He
or
shoots a lot of
4
threes,
blocks
too.
a game.
Yeah,
But I went Gobert also. Simmons, I put second.
yeah. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the metric, everything points to Gobert, right?
right.
But
I think it might be like a
runaway.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, most improved player.
This one, I think I bet we have 4 different ones.
You think so?
Really?
I think so.
I think it
Do you
could
have
be-
one clear one?
I have one clear one.
I think there's one.
Yeah.
All right, Sneeze. Who you got?
Give me that orange Julius Randle.
Oh, okay.
Julius Randle. I've been listening to other NBA media guys, and a lot of them have said Embiid and Jokic, because they've went from superstar to great, or how that.
I feel like
how that
2 years
tier-
ago Embiid was great, and then last year was so-so, and now he's back.
right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, but still,
but Embiid's
Bounce back.
yeah.
Embiid's shooting numbers
Yes.
this year are 51, 37, and 85. 85 for a big man. I mean, Jokic is
Imagine
right
if
there.
Shaq
He was
shot
almost
eight.
he was almost 50, 40, 90.
Right.
Imagine if
Kinda.
Shaq shot
Jokic
85.
Jokic was
Oh.
56,
I mean-
Can you
39,
imagine how many points a game
87.
he'd average?
If he shot 85, well, then they wouldn't have fouled. Well, they still would have fouled him, but yeah.
And they wouldn't have had a choice. If you,
Right.
you
Well, they
know,
wouldn't have hack-a-shacked.
They
but
wouldn't
yeah.
have done hack-a-shack.
He just
no.
would have got more field goals in.
Yeah.
But
Oh my God, he would have been a ridiculous.
Julius Randle was mine. 24 points a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, up from 19, 9.7, and 3.1. They're tied for the 5th best record in the Eastern Conference. I think it's kind of he was a first-time All-Star. I think it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, the thing with Julius
I
is
agree.
this isn't. He's had good numbers before, but it didn't seem as impactful. It just his whole play just seemed completely different. And I was going to say at the halfway mark, I think we were all on Jeremy Grant, and then Randall just took a leap.
Yeah,
and was like, wow, he's really keeping this up. So I also went Randall.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought you guys would. I picked Randall too.
Oh, okay.
But I thought people would go more towards like the Grants, the Christian Woods, guys like that. But they got hurt.
If Wood didn't get hurt,
right. So yeah, I guess we did.
Levine, Zach is up there for
Levine's
me
another
too.
one.
Levine was in my top 5.
But I think the fact that Randall has the Knicks in the playoffs is big, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the rest of that team isn't that great.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood, gotta shout them out. Jeremy Grant's been incredible improvement. We talked about that. I think in our most surprising players or something like that, we did a couple pods ago. But yeah, Jeremy Grant's been impressive.
You could even say Zion should get a mention.
Zion. I mean, well, I'm sure we'll talk about him later. But yeah, for sure. All right, now we got Coach Bruce, Coach of the Year,
Coach Jackson,
final individual award.
Yeah, I got Tom Thibodeau. I thought, I mean, just it's the Knicks, man.
Yep.
They in it. They in the playoffs. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, the league probably is loving that, you know. And I think the league, of course, wants, you know, the other traditional, you know, America's favorites teams like the Boston and the Lakers, and now you have the Knicks in the playoffs. So they want these, you know, those traditional franchises to be in the playoffs. So
probably
it's great
not
to
Boston.
see the Knicks in there.
They don't like Boston.
Okay. Count the banners. But so
count how many teams were in the league when those banners were acquired. 8-team league. It's like a little tournament. They basically won the play-in tournament. They won 16 play-in tournaments.
Okay, but no, just for them to make them a top 4 ranked defense. He's allowed them to they have better execution on the offensive end. What I gave me the nod for him, over some other guys like a Monty Williams, is he's pretty much done it with what was already there. Where Monty is like, yes, I think the Chris Paul injection plays a lot into the Suns' improvement from last year. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yes, the Knicks do have a couple new players, but that core was already there. And so for just to eject a new coach and to see the level of improvement, I think was big for me.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Did you have him also?
No.
Monty Williams?
I had Monty Williams.
You had Monty
Williams?
Wow, okay. So me and Bruce had all the same ones.
Oh, you picked
I had Tibbs too.
I don't know how I'd feel about that, Adam.
What, that me and Bruce picked the same ones?
I mean, that you're similar to another guy here. But no, I mean, obviously both exceeded expectations, but who would have thought the Suns would be the one? Right. Or the two, I guess, whatever, either way. Yeah. Or win a division with the Lakers and Clippers in it.
And I think him and Chris Paul kind of go. It's coaching Chris Paul. I heard this yesterday on a pod. It's not always easy, as Doc, as we've seen with previous coaches. But Chris Paul is incredible. But for him and Monty Williams to be on the same page and lead the team, I can see why.
Don't they have history together from New Orleans?
I think
yeah. So that too, but still, even then, I mean, Chris Paul isn't the easiest because he demands so much and has his hand in the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I can see why Monty Williams, but he still put the guys out. He put in the rotations. I think he's really helped Booker just go leaps and bounds better than what he has been, and I think he's helped the efficiency. Got the ball out of his hands, and obviously that's with Chris Paul, but
and I don't know how much like weight we should put on to this, but we saw last year in the bubble Phoenix go 8-0.
Sure.
But before they had Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you can give a lot of credit to Chris Paul for sure. I mean, he was one of our MVP mentions, but the Suns were on their way up, regardless, and a lot of that credit goes, I think, to Monty Williams and Booker.
I think we all want to give a shout out. Bruce might not shout this one out, but we're all going to give a shout out to Mac 10.
That's a good call.
You know, it wasn't long enough, right? But the hole that he dug them out of was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And just the way they're playing,
right?
Just the way they're playing, they were blowing double-digit leads prior to Nate McMillan.
Bruce, where is Atlanta in the standings right now? Do you mind checking that really quick?
I can't. I don't know.
I think they're so high we lost. They're so high we lost the bet. Count, right? We lost the bet too because it was
they exceeded us.
They're like 4.
But there's 2 other coaches that we want to kind of shout out was Marshall Island's own Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder, yeah.
Best team in the league, and their offense they've adapted to current NBA, so they run and gun. They shoot hella threes, and they make them at a high clip. So, and then he has the fourth ranked defense right now. So shout out to him. And then, man, regardless of who he has as his 3 best players, Steve Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. What he's had 28 different players on his team this year. He's had his best players miss a significant amount of games. Yet they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. You got buyout guys coming in, guys getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
I just think no matter what, though, even with those injuries, because that's all true, but I just think no matter what the perception.
Oh yeah.
Is going to be.
No. Any one of those guys is so good.
Right.
They're leading teams on their own to like at least a good playoff
But just
spot.
having all those guys in and out so much, I think he's done a great for a first year head coach
for sure.
Nonetheless, I think
he hired some guys to help, some good bench guys.
Yeah, for sure.
That are vets.
D'Antoni up there.
D'Antoni, Udoka, Jock Vaughn.
So he's got guys that have been around the game.
Yeah, they know how to flop. D'Antoni's good.
All right, so we got individual awards, and now we're gonna go to All NBA. I've been talking to these guys all week. I said, man, All NBA is gonna be nuts, and just with the way the NBA has done it, they've put guys at random positions that they've never played. Jokic and Embiid are qualified for forwards. They've played 99.9% of their time at center.
And who do they guard, right? Centers.
Guard centers. So All NBA is going to be very interesting in how we –
It's almost like there's no wrong answer.
No.
I mean, because there's superstars, elite players getting left off the whole thing.
Making 5 All NBA teams would be tough.
Right.
Because I showed you guys my list the other day of dudes I wrote down.
I'm glad I'm not actually really voting.
This would be tough
in real NBA.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll let us go first. I think there's 5 guys that might be close to unanimous on the first team.
Really?
I think.
Interesting.
But when you get to the second, third teams.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. So how we'll do this? We'll just go team by team. So Bruce, will give us your first, then we'll just go. We'll all go. Then we'll go your second team. We'll all go third team. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead.
First team, I'll say guards, forward, center for you. But yeah, guards, Harden and Luka.
Oh, never mind.
Harden on the first team?
Whoa.
Yeah. That's
never mind then. We're not.
I don't even know if I was putting Harden on my at all.
Okay, we'll get into that.
I'll get to the end.
Okay.
When we get through why, after all 3 teams, Harden and Luka.
Okay.
Okay, forwards, Giannis and Kawhi. And then center is Jokic.
Okay.
First team.
Dang. Bruce,
there's no wrong answers, so we're all going to be different.
Bruce coming out with
surprising though.
I mean, I can argue. I'll argue with my own list.
Right.
Bruce came out with the haymakers. I was doing mine late last night. I'm just like, I kept erasing. I did mine in pencils. I kept erasing.
I still want to change it right now.
I did too.
See, I had 5 that I thought were pretty much.
Okay, so since you got that, go ahead.
So guards, Steph.
Who?
Bruce's guy.
Yeah.
Steph. Kawhi.
Oh.
Qualifies as a guard.
You put him as a guard.
I did.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Giannis, Embiid and Jokic.
Oh, so you put Embiid as a
I didn't do that.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
He qualifies as a.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but I just didn't do it because I just felt like it's weird.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
that's
but-
kind of
yeah.
no. I know.
If you go by what they're voting at,
Yeah.
that's
No,
what
I could see guys taking advantage of that and putting Embiid
Sure.
on the first team. But okay, go ahead, Chuck.
I went Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Dame, Curry.
You did the Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons did that one.
It was I know it was a combination. I listened to Simmons, I listened to
Or Zach Lowe.
and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
other,
I
and I was
think-
listening to different things.
right. Okay.
It was kind of like, man, you can put Embiid and Jokic on there, but like, it's kind of like, do they ever guard a forward?
Yeah.
They rarely ever play forward, and now they're legally allowed to put it in there. But I was like, it's just still
Right.
feels kind of
I just went by.
what they said you can do.
They're the top 2 MVP
Right.
candidates.
Yeah,
They
no,
both deserve
that-
first team, right?
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Okay, so shit, we're gonna all have different ones. So say yours again.
Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Dame, Curry.
Okay, we're almost the same. So I had Steph, Dame, Kawhi, Giannis,
You got Kawhi,
Jokic.
Kawhi instead of Luka was the switch there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me and you.
My thing about Kawhi, or no, my thing about Dame over Luka, he's doing less. He's doing more with less.
Oh,
And-
Dame over. I was thinking Luka over. I was thinking Kawhi over Luka, because Luka's doing more than Kawhi. You could say.
No.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but Luka, he's the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Point forward though,
True.
and he doesn't
'Cause
guard guards really.
He guards forwards.
Yeah.
But he's pounding the shit out of the ball. He leads
Mhm.
the NBA in usage. So he has the ball in his hands all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dame is doing more with less. And
well,
if
he
it's-
was. Dame's team is better,
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
for a time there was less. I would say.
No, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
He had his 2 best players were out a total of 2 months, and he's had them. There are some stretches where they're in the play-in, but now they're fighting. They're in 5th at one point, 4th and 5th. They're in 6th right now. 30 points a game. And he's 3rd in the league in scoring at 29 points a game and 7.5 assists, and he's the top. By the numbers, he's the top. He's the most clutch player in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my argument for Dame. Sneeze, you kind of threw us for a loop going into left field with Harden. So give us your Harden take. Oh wait, I had Kawhi. I meant Paul George was on my first team.
What?
No, I'm just
Oh.
fucking-
I knew that
Okay.
was.
Okay. Yeah, I think we all weigh different things more. The games to a certain point to me for all these teams obviously made it difficult, but once they passed like a certain threshold for me for games, then I just got like games played. Then I really weighed in stats a little more to me than necessary team performance. And so like Harden's stats are just like they're great, they're ridiculous, and I think just what he's done to that team and the impact and his stats and stuff like that. And a lot of times I know we weigh scoring, but I try to weigh all 3 categories. And sometimes like if I'm tough between players, I take I guess a fantasy approach and add up their stats. So like how many points are they averaging, plus how many rebounds they're averaging, plus how many, assists, steals, stuff like that. And to me, Harden actually came, when you add in the other factors, he actually was better than doing that way. He was better than Steph and Dame for me. And I know he's played 43 games
On 2 different teams as well.
Yeah.
on 2 different teams, but you saw the impact as soon as he left. As soon as he left Houston, went down. And it's obviously when he came to the Nets, this just showing his ability to downplay the scoring and be like, I am going to be a distributor and grease the gears for this engine to run. So that was all for me,
I see all those. The only reason I wouldn't have put Harden on my first team is just because of the time he missed. Because you could argue he's.
What about the bullshit in Houston? Those first 8 games, you sabotaged that team.
Oh
they
my
were,
God.
They were going down anyways.
They were fucking. What'd you say, Charlie? They were 11-10, right?
11-10.
He
And
played
then
22 games with them.
No, he only played 8, but they were. They were decent enough.
they're
so
5
they
and 44 since.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you can blame that. Okay, you can say that,
but then there's injuries, and they were like, all right, he's gone, and we're trying to lose now.
They tanked. They traded everybody, right? Or did they? Did they trade Oladipo?
They ended up trading Oladipo
to the Heat. But I was gonna say for Harden, but yeah, Adam, that's a good point about Houston. I forgot about
you said
that,
the games,
the antics.
The games missed.
The games missed was the reason, but you could argue on that team with KD and Kyrie that he's the MVP of that team. Yes. He's a better playmaker than Kyrie. I think better fit at the point. Mm-hmm. Kyrie has been amazing as the off kind of guard, the wing, and then KD is just KD. But Harden's kind of the engine that seems to make that that team go at full, full capacity.
Okay. No, that's
all right.
That's a fair point. Second team, Sneeze.
Yep, second team. Sano's favorite player. I don't need to say his name. No, so Steph. So I went with Curry,
he was LeBron,
Dame for the guards.
LeBron's on my 15.
LeBron,
I didn't know where
PG,
to put him.
LeBron and Paul George for the forwards.
Oh wow!
And then Embiid at the center.
Damn, you went with guys I don't even have on any team.
Wow. Okay.
You didn't have PG or LeBron on any teams? Wow. Yeah, I understand one of those.
PG, I was debating, but
not LeBron at all.
I was debating,
go ahead,
but again, injuries.
Go ahead, Sano, give out your team. Let's hear.
Yeah.
For second team, I had Steph. Oh no, sorry, CP3. I mean, I think you said CP3.
Jesus.
Dame. I had Dame on my second team. I wanted to put Dame on the first team. He could have been like, 1A, 1B on that team. Luka as the forward. I had Randall as the forward, and then Gobert as my center.
I know who your third team center is. I don't even gotta say it. I already know who it is. All right,
man.
It's Capella, Adam.
No, it's not.
I got Embiid because I didn't put him on the first team.
Right.
Kawhi, and then I put Beal on there.
Second team.
Yeah, I was debating if I want to go second or third, but he's second in league in scoring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because I listened to some other stuff and they kind of convinced me, I went with Jimmy. They talked about his numbers are just off the charts. And I put LeBron on there.
Oh, okay.
I've been switching LeBron back and
team?
forth between second and third.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about putting Paul George on there, and it was just kind of like, I felt like LeBron in his time, he was a better player than him. But I feel like I can go either way. You can almost
43 games.
I really couldn't even argue if you don't have LeBron on any team.
I think I didn't even really do that because of LeBron being LeBron. I think I weighed injuries.
The games missed.
Games missed into that a lot.
Okay. So I might be tripping about yours. So you said
I don't know if I'm out of position, but
you said Beal, Butler, LeBron, Embiid, and who's
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Beal and Kawhi would be the guards, because I don't think Butler qualifies.
I think Jimmy and
LeBron do.
I thought I read Butler
I don't remember.
Qualify. Maybe I could be wrong too.
So guys who qualify for guards is Kawhi, LeBron, PG, Middleton, Jaylen Brown, Jason Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum. Those guys all qualify at the guard forward. Levine too. So,
right, the guard forward. Yeah, I was just like, all those guys are so especially Kawhi, Jimmy, LeBron are kind of both, right?
You don't have Chris Paul?
Not yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so
the Chris Paul thing is like his numbers don't jump off the page, right? But his effect does. So it's like, where do you put him?
Right.
I was like, do I even put him on third team? Because there's other guys with like Russ.
Right. Yeah. God.
Russ is a guy.
Tatum.
We'll get into that shit.
I don't even know what to do. My third team. I'm just I'm just gonna name five people.
Yeah.
Okay, so my second team was
just throw random names.
CP, Luka. I'm with you, Jimmy Butler.
Oh, you okay?
Randall, because that was kind of like you. I listened at first. I was like 13 for sure, but then I listened more.
Like, I didn't know that stuff about Butler.
Right, and then I researched last night, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's." You kind of been talking about it all season about how good he's been. Randall, and then Embiid's my center. So
shout out to StatMuse.
CP, Luka, Butler, Randall, and Embiid. That's my second team.
Okay, yeah.
So Sneeze, last team.
Man,
I had CP, so Chris Paul. I had Kyrie as the guards, and then Randall and Zion as the forwards, and then Rudy Gobert as the center for third.
You don't have LeBron on any of your teams, or you do?
LeBron was my second team forward.
Oh, okay. My bad. My fault. All right. Good shit.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sano.
So we're doing third team. I had Kyrie, Butler, Jason Tatum. Wait, am I off on position here? Booker.
You got Book
and Bam.
You have Book and Chris Paul.
I knew Bam was your center.
Nice.
Okay. No, you're not off on position.
Is that right?
You said Butler. Butler counts as 2.
Butler. So Butler counts as 2.
As the guard, he's count. You put him as a forward.
Right.
And Tatum too. So
yeah. So yeah, what did I say? Kyrie, Beal, Butler, Tatum, Bam.
Wait, you said Beal or Booker?
Sorry, Booker. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Beal was one of the guys I had on my list, but I was like Beal, Booker, Booker, and Booker's second seed. So.
All right, Chuck.
Yep. So I got Rudy. Mm-hmm. That's the easy one, and the other ones, man, it's just really tough. I went Randall, and then I debated on Zion. I wanted to be like, man, he's too young, man. You can earn your stripes later. There's a lot of OGs that deserve to be on there, but I mean, his year individually was pretty damn good, man. I mean,
especially when it went point Zion.
And then my other 2 spots, man.
You got 3.
Oh, well, so I went Zion, Randall, Rudy.
Oh, Randall, my bad. Okay.
And then the other ones, man, it was between Harden and Russ, you know. And I mean, I really can't go wrong. Like I walked in today thinking Russ, then it's like, man, I kind of want to go Harden, but Russ just gave so much effort. Not like Harden didn't give effort, but you know, then I kind of put 2 Wizards on there, like they're trash.
Right.
Ultimately. And I don't have a net on there. You know.
You have 0 net.
Harden would be my only net.
You didn't put Kyrie on there.
So who's your last spot?
And then the last, so I guess I'll go on that one. I'm going to go Harden and leave Russ off. And the other one was between PG and CP3, right? I guess it's all 4 of those guys for 2 spots.
That's tough, man.
And I was like, man, I had PG, but I was like, damn, can I leave CP3 off?
Then you'd have no Suns.
Right. And no Jazz. Well, I got Rudy, I guess. I got Rudy. Right. I didn't have Don. Yeah, man, I guess I'll go Chris Paul because I have no son.
Okay, so
that's tough.
Chris Paul and Harden.
Chris Paul, Harden.
Over PG and Russ.
Chris Paul, Harden, Zion.
But I love Russ.
Chris Paul, Harden, Zion, Randall.
Rudy.
Okay.
But I'm still going back and forth. I want Russ in there just because I like Russ.
Right.
You know.
But he had such a bad first half of the season.
I know. But he was hurt and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
And COVID.
Yeah, but I mean, what he's done the second half makes up for a poor first half. I mean, his numbers were still good, but his percentages were shit. Right. Which still aren't that great.
So my third team was Kyrie and Beal. I had LeBron and PG, and Rudy as my center.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. That's a cold ass 5. That's an all NBA first team.
Any of these teams could be first team.
This is. I don't think we've been doing our pods and our award shit for 4 years. This is our 4th year doing it. This is by far the hardest year it's been picking these teams because we haven't even talked about Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Levine.
I mean,
we talked about Russ a little bit, Drew Holiday. There's Tatum,
Durant, but he didn't play enough. Right?
Yeah, Middleton.
He's a first team guy.
Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons.
Brown had career highs, like 25 a game. Ben Simmons.
We said Middleton, Capella is having a great season. Bam's your third team center. Cat, he didn't play enough.
And I didn't put Tatum on there. And technically, if Tatum doesn't make it, doesn't he lose like $25 million?
30.
That doesn't even seem real.
Hold on, he loses.
He doesn't get that. He doesn't achieve a bonus, right?
Because it's a bonus. Him and Donovan Mitchell.
I couldn't believe it.
It's like a $30 million incentive.
That's crazy. I've never heard of an incentive that high.
Must be like you have to get all NBA team over a certain amount of years or something? Or
I think it's
I don't
making
know, but
all NBA.
I kept hearing about it, and then I heard it, but I can never remember what the number was.
Yeah, like
the number seems so
guys
ridiculous.
have talked about it in podcasts.
Yeah, the number seems so ridiculous. I was like, I don't even know if I want to share that because that's so insane.
So he can't do it next year and get that incentive. It's got to be this year.
Yeah, because I think how it ties into
because
it ties into the first year in his extension. I think that's how it worked. And
if you're a voter,
that, though.
Do you like, damn, I want to hook this guy up with $30 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Like just from a person was like, okay, if you don't vote for this guy, does he really lose anything? Right? If you don't vote for Chris Paul, but you know, I just want to be honorable and do your job.
Man, it's just so tough with COVID because LeBron could with COVID and games missed, because there's a possibility Harden might not make anything because of games missed.
Yeah. LeBron,
but
he's
then
at 45.
43.
43.
But then you got to factor
might play
in
2 more. Like,
but then you got to factor in Embiid's only played 50.
yeah.
Butler's played 52. Kawhi's played 52. PG's played 55.
I mean, there's a lot of missed games this year.
So the new window. That's what. So then another shout out.
Kyrie's played 52.
Shout out to Jokic, man.
Again.
He's played like something like 75% of all available minutes that they've had.
Oh yeah, no, Jokic just played in every game,
And that's including blowouts, right? So you're going to miss time for blowouts,
Right.
but almost playing.
Gobert's played in 69 games too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So when we have to like post our consensus all NBA teams, that's gonna be very interesting how we figure all that out. But yeah, all NBA is crazy.
Honestly, you could just throw all those players into a bag and just pull out names,
Right.
and it'd probably work.
It's crazy. I mean, I think for the first, we have a couple guys for each. I mean, at least for the first team, we have at least 2. It was like Giannis and Jokic. But outside of that,
Yeah.
we don't. It's
See,
all,
I thought the first 5 would be a little easier.
it's weird, man. That whole Embiid being a forward throws
Yeah,
such
I
a
guess-
wrench into it.
I guess I just figured that was going to be like the
No,
common
but that's
play.
hey, I don't knock it.
Imagine when there's going to be however many guys that vote, 70 to 100.
Right.
It's going to be just all over the place.
Oh, it's gonna
like
be-
when you see that chart come out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I thought of Steph as a lock, Giannis as a lock, and then either if they don't do Embiid as a forward, then either Embiid or Jokic. You probably Jokic.
Jokic, yeah.
So that's 3.
I
locks.
thought Steph, Giannis, and Embiid or Jokic were all locks.
Yeah.
That's what but yeah, man. So awards, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy to see how it all comes out and how the voters voted. We do not have a vote this year. Hopefully, in the future, we will have a vote.
Did we ever get that press pass from?
We're working on it. BTST
Process, my friend.
Yeah, BTST is working on it. Man, so the season is over tomorrow. We're recording this May 15th, Saturday morning. The season ends, but the playoffs are still not intact. However, there are some matchups that we're intrigued by and some stuff we would want to see. So we can't give you guys a prediction or a official preview because everything's in flux.
It's a very fluid situation.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. No
Kind
shit.
of like Bruce's haircuts.
It's a developing story.
So Sneeze,
They're always on point.
right?
Very fluid.
Sneeze, talk to us about a couple matchups in the playoffs that you would like to see or would hope to see.
Well,
Should we go back?
I actually think there might be an interesting.
Just in general.
Well, I'll include a play-in as
Okay,
play-in
you can go
playoffs.
play in, and then
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we'll do by conference, like what Sando just
Sure.
said.
Yeah, I think the play-in starting in the West. I think what would be interesting, and I'm sure Sano's really hoping for, is if the Lakers stay in this 7 spot here and they go against Golden State in the 8.
I think everybody outside of Charlie and the rest of Laker Nation would like to see the Lakers in the
You
play-in
know,
game.
that'd be a very
I
interesting
told you I
thing.
want him in the playing game.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and I don't think Sano wants to see the Warriors and the Lakers play in the playing game. I think he'd much rather see him play someone else.
As a fan, I would love to see LeBron.
As a
and Curry.
fan, but as a Warrior fan, you don't want that.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think he really
Yeah.
wants that.
I mean, it's crazy
Yeah.
that are they still the betting favorite for the for the champion? I think the
For
Clippers
the
might
West,
overtook, or the Nets
for the
I mean.
West.
Yeah,
The
But
Lakers are
you-
still the favorite.
Are they
I
still
think the
betting
Nets
favorite?
might be ahead of him.
I thought the Nets.
I think the
might have
Nets are
jumped.
the overall.
Yeah, but the
But
West.
in the
favorite.
West, the
Yeah.
Lakers, right?
Yeah.
And they're in the play-in, which is
Well, Schroeder and LeBron come back today.
That's right.
That's a
Okay.
big
Sorry.
difference.
Go ahead, Bruce.
No, I think that's just. I think that's interesting. That's just that play-in scenario is very interesting because of the following ramifications to that. So, like, let's just first say Golden State wins, right? Let's say that, okay, and they beat the Lakers, so they get into that 7 spot. Now the Lakers could be that 8, and then the Lakers could win out. Can you imagine a first-round matchup where the Lakers are the 8 going against the Jazz as the 1?
Man.
Oh, that'd be Lakers
With a healthy LeBron and
La-
AD?
Lakers in 5.
That sucks. That's not what
So,
Utah
like,
played all year for.
No, it does
I
suck.
know.
That's
And
Lakers.
so
That's Lakers in 5, without a doubt.
That
No
possibility, because as Sano, we've all alluded to, like Steph, one game, can he just go off against the Lakers and go bananas and get them in as the 7th? This is such a realistic scenario that could happen. And I would be so pissed if I was a Jazz fan to be going against the Lakers in the first round. Like, are you kidding me?
Or Suns.
But then,
Phoenix, yeah.
But we talk about Steph, LeBron in a one game.
I get it for sure.
That's who nobody wants to see.
That's just salivating right now. So, like, if I'm the Jazz and Suns and looking at the Lakers and Warriors still at 7-8, I'm like, what did we do to deserve this? Like, like especially the Lakers. So those other than that, nothing really else in the 2 through 6 is nothing. That first round really, for me, jumps out.
What about matchups you want to see like further down the line, like in the conference finals, semifinal? Are there any like that jump out? Because there's one for me I really want to see.
Down the line, probably be more.
Battle of LA.
That's
Right.
really
Yeah.
Someone texted me today
Really,
that the
Yeah, probably
Clippers
Battle of LA.
lost last night to avoid the Lakers. I don't know anything about
Did
that.
they bench their guys last night?
I didn't even know they lost.
It was the second game of a back-to-back,
Yeah.
and every back-to-back they usually rest their guys, and it just so happened
Yeah.
it ended up that way.
I mean, they're going to play in probably the second round.
or
They're going to play eventually, you'd think.
right.
I mean, some of them could lose early.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, Battle of LA.
Well, because Clippers are a 3 or 4.
They're 4 right now.
Oh,
and
so
they'll
then
play
that
them.
would be third round then, if the Lakers are
4.
7.
So that'd be the conference finals.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
Lakers
4
could
and a
be 8.
7, or an
If
8.
the Lakers are 8, then that'd be
The second round.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But once the Lakers make it, they'll say they had an easy road.
They always do.
But then you want them to be the 7 because it's tough road. But then when they make it, it'll be like, oh, they had an easy road.
If they win if the Lakers
just-
go
it's
from the
just
play-in
whatever the narrative
to the
is,
title, I will come on the next pod that we do and give LeBron his props for that.
And that's okay.
All right, book that.
I mean, I think it's actually
That's
when they
that's
beat,
pretty impressive.
if they
he
beat the
does
2 seed, they are the 2 seed now, right? So they had the 2 seed road.
that. But not with home court.
I don't think they're the
True.
2 seed. I mean, they're playing as the 7, but
Right.
they're going into every series as the favorite, in
Right.
my opinion.
Oh, well, look at Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Right, they're
like we're
going
saying.
even health. Hopefully everybody's healthy. They're going into every single. If they play the Jazz, favorite,
Mhm.
Suns favorite. No matter
The Clippers
what.
would be the only one that betting wise would be close.
Oh yeah.
Just because if you look at their odds to win the conference, it's
Yeah.
semi-close there.
That throws such a big wrench into the Western Conference.
Jeez.
All right, Bruce, in the Eastern Conference.
The East.
You got the Hawks taking
Just-
out the 1 seed yet? You hopped on the wagon? I got a
I
spot.
actually.
I got a spot for you over here on the wagon.
Oh my gosh.
Or Sano's
Oh my
wagon.
God.
He let me in.
Oh my goodness.
I bought a
I
ticket.
actually was gonna say
I
the
could try
first
me a
round
discount.
matchup that intrigues me is actually the Hawks and Heat potentially.
That is
you know.
that's a brutal. That's a battle.
There's a lot of star power in that series
That's-
too.
I like I like the coaching minds. I like the coaches on both sides. So that chess match, I'll be intrigued by the matchup. And then I just intrigued by how that young Hawks team, who hasn't experienced playoffs, handles like a franchise that's been embedded in the playoffs that got that dog in them. They're going to be so physical with Atlanta, and like, how do those young guys respond? How does Trey? I mean, who's Trey stopping? Like, what is he going to like?
I mean,
Tyler
Jimmy's gonna
Hero?
be so
You can say
much-
that about
so
anybody.
much in his head. I mean, I was like, Jimmy's going to be owning space rent free in everybody's head that series. So just to see how, if Atlanta has the toughness needed for the playoffs. So that's an intriguing first round for me.
That's a good one.
Chuck.
Oh, East wise, I mean, whenever that 2-3 plays, that 2-3 plays is going to be a monster.
Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
Yeah. Even no matter who it would have been. I mean, we know it's
If
Philly now,
Milwaukee
but
gets
if
there.
whatever the combination, that number 1 seed was big in the East. I felt because you kind of those first 2 rounds you ain't really going to be touched, but that 2-3 in the second round is going to be brutal. No matter, yeah.
The 1-2 hasn't. I mean,
I guess the 1 has to play. If they have to play Miami, will be tough.
That's what I was gonna
Right.
say, because
Yeah,
Miami could also be 6, and they could play Milwaukee, which that would be
Yeah,
an
that'd be
explosive
crazy.
first round.
Right.
I mean, we talked about the West playing teams like LeBron and Steph and those guys. The East has some hot teams right now. The Wizards, the Heat, teams like that. That I don't think anybody really wants to see. Potential playing teams, I should say.
Wait, Heat's not a playing team, man.
Are they not in that spot?
No, they're like 5. I think.
Just moved
They're
up.
five.
They moved up in the last
They're
like
5-6.
I thought they were. Still,
They might have been
I thought
tied with the
in
Knicks.
contention
They were
for
like
that.
tied with the Knicks.
They're 5-6 because they beat Boston back to back.
Oh,
They
thank you, Bruce.
jumped up. Boston went down to the play-in.
You can thank Boston for us for moving Miami into the playoffs.
Yeah,
So Boston's in that play-in then.
they
Dallas
are.
Brown. Okay, yeah, my bad. I thought Miami was still in that position where they could end up in the
Ooh.
playoff.
That actually could be a fun one, Chuck.
What?
Brooklyn Celtics.
Not with this Celtics
With
team.
Brown out.
Oh no, I'm just saying Kyrie. Kyrie
Oh
versus his old team.
That storyline.
Hmm.
That storyline's big.
That could be a good one. But Kyrie, yeah. Man,
Yeah.
that would be a good one.
But they'd probably. I mean, the series itself might not be that great.
Yeah.
They might close that in 5 or 4.
You think so?
If all 3 guys are there, yeah. You know, if one of those guys are. It's kind of my thing. Like, if all 3 guys are healthy, I think they go to
4.
the finals. Oh, 4. Okay, yeah.
Blake.
But if they're missing any, obviously, like I said in the last pod, like what's the chances that all 3 of those guys stay healthy for 6 weeks straight? They haven't really done that because that's how long the playoffs take. And the later the playoffs are, the tougher the opponent, which you need that 3rd guy.
Yeah.
They can squeeze by the first round with 2 of them, but I don't know if you're going to squeeze by Philly or Milwaukee with just 2 of them.
I don't think they
Milwaukee or Miami.
Or even Miami, right?
Yeah.
But you might be able to squeeze by Miami with just 2 of the studs. It depends which 2 they are, but it's like, and I would just be betting against all 3 of those guys staying healthy because they just haven't done it. But they just got their rest. Harden just got his rest, so maybe he'll be. Harden's usually he doesn't usually get hurt often. He usually plays through shit.
What about in the West? Is it? I mean, obviously, I think the consensus for all of us is Battle of LA, but is there other ones? Because
we were both on Denver,
and you guys were both. You've been on Phoenix.
I like Phoenix.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm taking them in a series versus. I mean, a lot of teams. I don't even know if I would take them versus Denver.
Really?
Even without Murray. But, I mean, I don't know. It's tough, man.
See, I would.
And I like the Blazers
I'm
too.
high
The
on
Blazers
Phoenix,
are hot as hell right now too.
Yeah.
Man, they got fucked out of that game the other day.
Yeah.
Versus Portland.
They needed that.
Or versus
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I wanted to see.
I mean, when we do our playoff bracket situation, that's going to be a lot of different responses
all over the board.
I'm gonna do 2, maybe 3 of them.
See, I think Phoenix is on par with. They're not quite at the level of championship contender like the Lakers and even the Clippers.
Yeah.
But they're right there, like I think right below the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be shocked if they got to the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're beating the Lakers. I think
I actually would be shocked if they got to the conference finals. Because
I think they're
Bruce,
third for me.
Bruce alluded to that last week. On our last part is the playoff experience, and he's alluded to with like Trae Young and like the Hawks and stuff. It's that playoff experience. He said, "Yeah, CP has so much, but the other guys haven't gone through."
Well, they got Crowder.
And Crowder, but the other guys haven't really gone through the fires.
Right.
What Bruce was talking about, that playoff, like, gotta get your feet wet, gotta take your, gotta get punched in the mouth.
I think they can do it, man.
Well, I could see Utah more than Phoenix.
Because
we don't see that in the NBA. I mean, you see in other I would say other professional sports, but the NBA, I think it's always a grow. Like, what brand new team ever makes a deep run in the NBA playoffs? It's always Bruce, like they get in, they get to maybe through the first. Just the next year,
non-LeBron team.
Everyone's got to take their lumps. The Warriors lost once and then went bam. I think they lost first round and then accelerated to the finals, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But they still go through it. Milwaukee did the same thing when we were talking about Giannis's one of Giannis's seasons a couple years ago.
Denver has done it recently, right? And they kept getting build.
But to be fair, Bruce, you used that same argument for saying the Hawks weren't going to get a top 6 seed.
I said they'd be a playoff team.
You said they got to go through their lumps.
The highest I thought they get was maybe 6.
And
what
you
are they?
You said maybe 6?
We gotta go back.
We gotta replay the tape.
You can go back, and I said
gotta
between
replay the
6 and 8.
I'm gonna keep sipping this tea.
6 and 8, between 6 and 8, baby. Yeah, you keep sipping that tea.
I think you said between 7
Atlanti.
and 8 out.
I'm drinking this Atlanti.
Nah, I said I could see them getting in, but they're not probably going to be higher than a 6. Okay. Maybe it was a 7, but
we'll replay the tape.
Yeah, I have to eat crow. Yeah, they're 4. I mean, Nate did his thing. My bad.
Have we ever heard Bruce admit The way he was wrong.
He switched from chicken to crow.
So anyway,
we're going to shout the playing game to the Spurs. They're going to make it again. Shout out to a friend of the pod. Hasn't been on yet, but he will. Head coaching for the Spurs today. First time. Mitch Johnson. Popovich is at the Hall of Fame. Honoring the great Tim Duncan.
Yep. Shout out to Mitch.
So I rock the Spurs hat.
There you go.
Local guy.
Sano's there. A matchup or two, either conference that intrigues you?
I mean, we talked about the Battle of L.A. I would love to see. We talked about Charlie said the Lakers and the Warriors. I'd love to see that personally. The other one that kind of intrigues me is we kind of briefly touched on. I want to see Phoenix go against either the Clippers or the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. I like seeing him have confidence in a Chris Paul led team. I like seeing this.
It's more of a Devin Booker-led team or a Bridges-led
Mm-hmm.
team. No, I got to give Chris Paul his due.
I don't. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding.
So, no chance the Blazers
I was going to mention the Blazers.
The 1 or the 2 seed? Depending which one.
1 or 2?
If it's Lakers and Blazers, let's say Lakers and Blazers make it as the play-in. Oh, the Blazers moved up, right? They're not in the play-in.
Well, it's either the Lakers or the Blazers are going to be the 7 seed.
They have the same amount of losses right now.
Okay, but one of them could be the 8, right? Or no?
No, I don't
One of them won't be in the play-in game?
One of them's going to be 6, one of them's going to be 7.
Okay, then never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Blazers are going to get that.
I do want to see the Blazers match up, but
Blazers might play Clippers first round in, huh? Oh, Denver. Clippers Denver would be, or Blazers Denver.
Yeah.
That could be a good one.
Oof.
That could be a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Dame would fucking kill. Well, actually, both stars would kill because neither have.
And you'd have the Nurkic versus Jokic battle.
Former teammates.
The former starting center of the Nuggets battle.
Yeah.
I think the Nuggets made the right decision.
I think so. Not that Nurkic is a bad
player.
He's
solid.
He's
just been hurt.
Yeah.
He's had some pretty tough injuries, but
I'm still mad about that Murray injury.
Oh, man.
I was high on Denver.
Man, that's fucked up, man.
Man, I think so what about in the East? Anything in the East?
In the East, I want to see, we talked about a couple of them. Obviously, the Nets and Philly, I think would be a real fun series down the line. Same with Milwaukee, but probably Philly more so. I also want to see the Battle of New York at some point if it works out.
See, Charlie doesn't think New York could give a team a lot of trouble. He thinks they might get ousted real quick.
I think they got to take their lumps again.
I think they could win a round.
Oof.
On a Tibbs team?
Maybe beat Atlanta because of the defensive aspect. But
and because of RJ Barrett?
I don't think they're beating like the top threes or Miami.
No, I don't think anybody's beating the top threes in the East. Most of mine are like, I want to see kind of these young teams. Like I want to see Atlanta match up with one of these top 3 teams to kind of see how they stack up. And then I mentioned that New York.
Battle of New York.
That Subway series would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think because we've seen it twice within the last couple of weeks. The Brooklyn-Milwaukee, very intriguing.
Good series.
Very intriguing.
Sorry, one more I wanted to shout out.
Go ahead,
Adam. I want to see the Wizards, even though I bet against them to get into the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
But I really want to see the Wizards get in as a top 8, 7, and match up with one of those top teams.
Just to give them a run.
Yeah, as a healthy Wizards with healthy Bradley Beal.
Like a Russ versus KD.
I would love that. I would love to see that.
Spicy. So I think I mean, it's probably going to happen. Boston, Brooklyn, which we talked about. Yeah, but then Miami, Philly could happen in the second round. So that would be intriguing. Jimmy versus his old team. I actually think Miami might make the conference finals if that happens.
Oh wow.
So, but then rematch of last year's first round, LA and Clippers in Dallas. Luka's torched LA this year, Clippers. So I want to see if Ty Lue has some for him in the playoffs. If all the guys, PG, Kawhi, Ibaka just came back last night. So if they are fully healthy, I want to see a fully healthy roster versus and KP came back too. So that would be intriguing. I think Dame could beat Denver. I don't think they have anything for him.
I could see. Every series I could see both teams winning. It's gonna be so crazy.
Yeah, and then I could see the Lakers maybe not sweeping, but in 5, Utah or the Suns. I can see
I think
that.
Utah's going to hit Lakers kind of tough, though, because they got a lot of guys that are able to score that they can't key in on. That's where I think that they can you can try to key in on the Suns, right, and really try to slow down Booker if you can. But the Jazz have a lot of guys that can make shots, you know?
Are you talking about Jazz versus –
I'm talking about instead play the Lakers. I think Jazz can just score from a lot of different angles, you know? So you can stop this guy, but then 3 other guys can knock down threes.
Are you guys all higher on Utah than you are on Phoenix?
I am.
It's really tough.
I am.
In a series, I probably am, and I love Chris Paul, you know?
He's the reason I'm not high on them. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm with you on the fandom.
I wish they could play in a series.
I'm with Bruce.
That actually be a hell of a series.
With Bruce's assessment of a young team, got to get some experience. But Utah kind of gone through it. Last year they lost in the first round. You know, and then they back-to-back years of the second round. So, yeah, I'm more higher on them.
So you just think they're more ready to take that
next but I just if any of them against the Lakers, I just don't see it. Either of them against the Lakers, I don't see it. I just cannot bet against LeBron, a healthy LeBron and AD. So that's hopefully they're healthy. That's another thing. So yeah, you know, that's our it's kind of gonna wrap up our award show today and our mini little
2021 NBA season,
our mini playoff preview. But you know, it's going to be crazy. You know, we'll check back with you guys in a few weeks, see how things are going in the playoffs, kind of, you know, give our analysis about it. But
when the Warriors and Suns are in the conference finals.
Right. But, man, you know, it's been fun. That's going to wrap up for today. Once again, we're going to shout out Nolan in the Third Wheel Podcast Studio. Appreciate you.
We're the resident artist.
Right. You know.
Like the Jabberwockies in Vegas.
It's our new home. So we appreciate it. You know, like we always say, man, we appreciate your guys' love and support. Hopefully, you know, as now that we got a space, we'll be a little more regular in our lives. If things are getting back to normal, we'll be a little more regular with everything. But we appreciate the love and support. Continue to follow us on all of our social media outlets.
One more day to go.
You're right.
One more day to go, May 16th.
We got Bruce Jackson, Millionaire Sano, Charlie Hustle,
206,
Adam, BlackTop SmackTalk. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Appreciate you.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Signing off.